So today I'm going to present about ChatGPT, science, and some unsolved questions. Yeah, so I'm Upasana, and I'm protein biologist in Dr. Vishar's group. And here is a little bit about me. So I earned my PhD in biotechnology from National Chemical Laboratory, India, Pune, and I worked in industry as a senior scientist before moving to Edmonton for my postdoc from engineering. And I did 2 postdocs from Faculty of Engineering, and after that, I started working with Dr. Richard, and I'm working in this group since like more than 7.5 years. And now moving to my presentation, I'll jump in the presentation. And as I mentioned that I'm going to present about ChatGPT. It is an AI tool which is used for many purposes. You can ask a question, it is going to answer it, and it's a chatbot. Chatbot was fairly new for me. What is the term? Why it is called chatbot? Then I tried to learn about it, and it's a software. Interestingly, it converts the human voice or human knowledge into artificial intelligence or into a software, or maybe the voice which you hear from Siri or Alexa. I think that's what I understood from it. It was developed by a non-profit organization, and in this non-profit organization, there are some big team players like Infosys, and there are many more. So the person who actually established OpenAI is Dr. Spear. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the name in a wrong way, but he is an Israeli Indian Canadian computing scientist. And Elon Musk, we all know about him, like Twitter, Tesla, everything. And apart from them, there are many people who are associated with it. Then in response to ChatGPT, it made so much spark in the society, in academia, in science, that Google launched in rush their chatbot, which is called Bard, and Meta, which is actually Facebook. They launched Llama. Llama is still not very popular, but Bard, because of launch of Bard and one inaccurate information about James Webb Space Telescope in response to the query, Google lost around $100 billion in Feb 8. And these are all recent, it's in 2023. And this article was published in Wall Street Journal. Very interesting article, how they rushed into it, how the employees blamed the CEO, and how the CEO responded to it. But yes, it just generated ChatGPT, it generated so much stuff for everyone. They just responded. And now the question is why I am interested in ChatGPT. So this is the reason that like it brought my attraction. So there's an article in Nature News, ChatGPT listed as author on research paper. So it was so interesting for me why and an app, an AI app, listed as an author, not in somewhere else like methods or something, but authorship is something. Then I started reading about it and I paid attention to it. So it is so in the article, if you read, it is indicated that it is crucial for researchers to understand that it's our legal responsibility. And ChatGPT is not a human, not a person. It is not accountable for our research or anything like that. Some publishers may allow to acknowledge ChatGPT in the paper, but authorship is not acceptable for them. But however, this is not a data for all publishers. These are the publishers who were interviewed by Nature News for this article. But then the CEO of In Silico Medicine, he published 80 papers where the data was generated by AI tool, and they've cited ChatGPT in one of their paper. But he said that we are in this business since long, and we know what we are doing, but he haven't commented anything about using ChatGPT as an author. So they just backed out. Then one neurobiologist from Sweden, she mentioned that, first of all, her paper was rejected by one journal, but then maybe she rewrote the paper using ChatGPT, and she included ChatGPT as an author. And later, the paper has been accepted in another journal. One publisher admitted that they allowed ChatGPT as a co-author by mistake, and they will rectify the error. So this is the reason that I decided that I can discuss this in general group meeting. So the publishers, the chief editors, they came up with their own policies, and I think policies are still on the way to come in our account. So something in some points in this slide is very much similar to the previous slide, but in the second point, which I like, is documenting AI in methods. We knowingly, unknowingly explain about the softwares we use, like Origin or Excel, or let's say some imaging software. So AI can be used in that way. So that was the most important thing. But truly speaking, no one prevented from using artificial intelligence or ChatGPT. It's just the authorship which we have to avoid, or that's what they don't want. But still, again, this is not from every journal or every publisher. It is from those publishers who were interviewed by Nature News. These are the journals, and you can see I indicated the ChatGPT where they were cited as co-authors or authors. And yeah, there are a few more papers like this, and this is fairly new thing. I haven't seen this before. Now we are academia, and if we look into academia, like how academia responds to it, academia is affected by AI or ChatGPT, yeah, of course, but how? That is the question, and how it is responded. So I think we all received this email from the Vice Provost of Learning Initiatives, and I did read the email completely, but the most impactful statement is the number 4, where he is advising or appealing the faculty and instructors to encourage students to build their own voice, own writing skills, not to not to follow AI or ChatGPT completely, and use it to enhance your work, to not replace your student work. That's the most impactful statement. I think we should focus on this as a student or as researcher, as scientist. And the 5th one is really concerning, and we all know about it, that when we download an app, use a software, our data is vulnerable. It is used by the third party, yes, and that is concerning. I mean, use ChatGPT or Bard or a simple software in your phone, anything. We have seen that whatever we search in our phone, in our computer, the search engine starts sending us emails or advertisements, or they start prompting us to hit those links, log in there, something like that. Now, this is another interesting article where actually the first part is the email which we received, and the points in the email were mostly from a professor from computing sciences in University of Alberta. But the second part was from Dr. Andrew Piper, who is a professor in McGill University in languages and literature. He advocated that a ban should not be there. Like, people should use the technology we already introduced. We encouraged students to use use technology, I wonder, is there any class where syllabus is not including a computer? Anyone, like people are bringing computers, they are asked to learn from it, and their exams are also conducted on the unit, on the computer, like writing on paper. I'm not sure, it might be very few professors, but yeah, it is there. So the unsolved question, should we use ChatGPT in academia or not? How much we should use? What are the norms? Preventing ourselves from using technology, no, it's not a good idea as well. Now, this is something which is interesting. Again, I will relate this with the fifth point of the email of the vice provost, that this news, it popped up in my screen. I think the computer realized that I am working on ChatGPT and I am finding news. So it flooded actually with lots and lots of news about AI, ChatGPT, related, unrelated. It's too much for me to put them in the slides, and it will pass like 50, 60 slides. But this was interesting. This is local, that a recipe of beer was created by algorithms of ChatGPT, which is tweaked a bit by the manufacturer, and it was served in a tap house. And you can see they tweeted that a robot got more preference, more, it was more used by, consumed by people, and it is appreciated by people. It is like, it doesn't mean that humans are replaced. They made it. They made little changes with the algorithm or the recipe of the beer. But yeah, so this is what happened. Now, accessing generative AI, is it free? No, it's not free. You have to pay $50 per year or $10 per week, which is like quite expensive. It's up to you. You want to use it or you don't want to use it. But it was surprising for me that when I tried to download BART and Llama, you are on waiting list. You cannot download the app. You cannot start using that immediately. Be in the wait list, and they will invite you, or I don't know what will happen next. So this is what it is. This is so much desired by people. Now, again, the unsolved questions which came in my mind, I tried to summarize them here. That should we cite AI as an author? Are all editors and all journals, they are going to have same policies? No, they may not have the same policies. In fact, all universities may not have the same policies in response to AI or ChatGPT. It will vary. It will vary how we are taking it, how universities are taking, how society is taking, all in that line. And yeah, in future we have lot to make changes. We don't know what we are going to expect from editors or publishers or anyone. However, I must say that we accepted changes. We accepted Zoom meetings. We accepted softwares. We accepted Google Docs. Everything like that. So this will also come up with some solutions, some policies, and we'll accept it. So yeah, what are the challenges academia is facing? At some point when students are using ChatGPT and putting them in their assignments, actually it's not them who is writing the assignment, it's the software, and university considered it as a guidelines, which is not accepted. Now, policies are going to change or be implicated for faculty and students as well, so everyone has to face it. We have to face balance between the technology and the true sense of learning, how we are learning. And I believe that it's the real people who are sitting behind AI, who are developing the apps. So those people are made by universities. They earned some degrees, they learned from university, and then they are making the apps. So it's the responsibility of the students to learn and academia to take care for it. So let's wait and learn. And I'll conclude the presentation with the fundamentals of economics. So there are three key fundamentals depending on which the entire world economy works and our lives also works. So we may not notice, but there are three things. People are rational, which is us. People respond to initiatives which we do in our everyday life. And here it is our response to artificial intelligence. And then optimal decisions are made at margin. So what is going to be our marginal decision in optimum level to adopt artificial intelligence? And yeah, so we may not notice, but yeah, we do it in other aspects also, not only AI, but this is how I correlated this one. And thank you for listening. I want to thank Dr. Ishar, Prashanti, Rupa, Scott, Dipanjan, Claudia, and Yana. Thanks to my students, Abby, Siana, and Amina. And I want to thank the admin team also, Galina, Oksana, and Basu. And I'll highlight Basu's name here. If you have any hard or language related or chatbot related questions, please do not ask me. I'm not the expert. Basu can explain you. Thank you.
Great, Upasana. Thanks very much for that. Really interesting.